station.
I'll do anything for views. Gonna sleep addicted to swerving on Maserati. Gonna snort wasabi. Gonna go to Japan to film a dead body. I'm flat, quickly apologize. Remember I talk shit on Jacksepticeye. In case I forgot to mention, guys, smash that motherfucking like, comment, subscribe. I'll do anything for views. Even get a sleeve of big tattoos. Working a Maserati. Gonna snort wasabi. Gonna go to Japan to film a dead body. I'm quickly apologize. I fucking love those guys. In case I forgot to mention, guys, smash that motherfucking like, comment, subscribe. What's up, YouTube? But yeah.
So
Not
like it's
frail,
walk.
but I think they were like maybe 670s.
Oh, that is pretty old still.
Hey, Neuron.
Are you muted now?
Uh-oh. He's not muted.
Oh, shit, I can't hear him.
Well,
Sorry, someone might be muted. Hey guys, sorry.
oh.
That's awkward. I was just talking to myself. Hey guys, thank you for those joining us on the Facebook live stream, and thank you for showing up. It is the second week of the Neon Podcast Valentine's Day podcast.
Woo.
Woo! All right. So we have some guests, and it's not just Kemp this week, just because he's the only person other than me on webcam. We have two other guests with us today. So if you can introduce yourself, pretty much your name, and what is the most fun date idea or most fun date you've gone on, whether it's a romantic date, a friend date, a bro date, a sis date, a date with your family. So, yeah. Anyone can go. Go ahead.
Ladies first.
Okay. I'm Janice, and the most fun date that I've been on was, gosh, there are so many. I don't know if this counts as a date, but Doug and I went to Life is Beautiful, the music festival, and it was just the two of us.
Hey.
So that was pretty cool. That was probably the best date. A whole weekend of date.
Well done, well done. Doug's in the watching the live stream, so there you go, Doug. Good job. There you go, buddy. All right, Kemp or Travis, either one of you would like to go?
I'll go. My name is Travis, aka TK. I guess I don't really have like a favorite, but one that I really liked was this person I was dating before. We just went on a trip to San Diego and just really like walked around the city and like relaxed and chilled out. It was a pretty dope experience. That was like my second time going to San Diego or something like that.
Hey,
So it was good times.
Nice.
Excuse me.
All right, Kemp, go ahead.
Mine's I'm Kemp. Y'all should remember me. I've been in like every other episode. Mine's not really a date, but most fun like get together, hang out thing, whatever. Was going to like an anime song concert where all they did was play anime songs.
Hey, that's what's up.
Nice.
It was like there was like glow sticks everywhere and just like
oh, nice.
Crazy.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. And if you don't know me, I don't know why you wouldn't know me unless one of these people shared the stream and you're seeing it right now. But I'm Neuron, podcast host, and if you're watching on YouTube, my YouTube channel. I guess my favorite date was just like a full day hangout, getting lunch and dinner and stuff, and then activities in between. Go to round one, and I won a prize on the first try. So I felt pretty good about myself. I was like, dang, probably not gonna work on the next game, but here you go. So.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Toronto's done.
Nice.
pretty impressive, right? On the first one of them crane
Very,
games.
very impressive.
Let's see, we got in the chat, Gerard Yeet, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the podcast. And Amanda Wong, welcome to the podcast. Yes, round one. There you go. There we go. Got some round one fans in the house. So
I get the ladies though, man. You just go show your skills in the crane game machine.
yeah, I know. Freaking last time I went to round one, guy literally spent like $40 trying to get one thing. He was so frustrated, and they just gave it to a girl. So I'm just like, damn, dude, that's dedication. So.
Still a minus.
And Gerard, hello from CSUN. All right, cool. Welcome. All right, so we're just gonna get straight into this week's topics of the dating game. You guys familiar with the dating game, guys?
What's that, Neuron?
Oh shoot, I don't know. Why are you asking me? Why am I still single? Come on. You're asking
no,
me?
No game from this man.
No game.
So
No
who's-
game is
who's-
weak. Game is weak F.
So which guests this week are single? Which of the guests?
I think all three of us, except
Oh.
for you. Yeah.
I'm the only
Yeah.
one
yeah.
holding it down.
I mean, unfortunately, Trisha, the other female guest we were gonna have on this week's podcast, was also not single, but she couldn't make it today because she has come down with a severe flu, and her voice is
Aw.
gone. So unfortunately, she couldn't make it out today. But if she happens to join us in chat, everyone please welcome her, and make her, send some love and support to make her feel better. If she comes through. So maybe she's in bed just resting. Who knows? All right. So the dating game is clearly something I don't know about. Ha! Good one. Nice meme, guys. All
Oh
right.
my god.
So pretty much, the dating game. What are what
What
is the dating game, guys? Basically, when you start putting yourself out there to find a potential romantic partner that you may or may not enjoy, and the
Right.
different processes. Dude, I don't know how technical you want this answer, or how
No,
people in the
okay,
chat.
I just thought about it. Okay, so if this is like the dating game, right? Then we're all the players, right? So what level is each player?
Holy shit, you made this into an actual game. All right.
What level are you guys?
I mean,
What level is
do you think-
everyone? What skills do you have? Special abilities, personal attributes. Let's go.
I'm actually level 200, but I haven't put any points into any of my skills.
Yes, yes,
So you're
my guy.
Yeah, I know like the basic of every skill. I'm just not a master of any.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So we have a botter over here.
Oh, dang it, she found
Someone
me out.
bought his account, brand new noob. All right.
I just heard that chicks dig Elo, alright?
Nira.
Oh shoot. Well said. Well said. TK, do you want to go or me next?
You can go next. I don't want to get bashed.
I feel like just because we're all single, Janice is gonna bash on all of us. Like, to be honest.
What are you talking about?
Listen to her. She's trying to play all nice and innocent. She already knows she's gonna bash me so far. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm not even gonna say what level or skills. Forget it.
What level are you, Neuron?
I don't know. If Camp's 200, I guess I'm
Oh my God.
50.
Buy your
50.
account too?
I'm still boosted though. I'm boosted.
You're boosted.
I'm boosted. So for example, it's like
So
I'm
you have
level.
a really good wing person. Is that what it is?
No. I'm a terrible wing person. No skills in
Someone
that.
who
No
carries
skills. No points. But like level 50. But the reason I got there isn't because I've been winning in the dating game. I've been like feeding. I've been losing. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, if anyone plays League of Legends here, it's like saying I got level 5 on a champion that I suck at. It doesn't mean I'm good at the champion. It just means I played it enough to get level 5.
Hey, you still get some experience. Though.
Exactly. That's why I'm level 50. I got experience. Doesn't mean I've ever succeeded. There we go.
Level 50. What's the max level?
I don't.
know, like
We'll just say
Just
200 is the
like
max
keep
level.
growing. There's no max level. You just keep leveling up.
Yeah. All
You'll
right.
be old, man. Be like level
they're
900.
always patching the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
level cap goes up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
this game's been out for like hundreds of years.
yeah.
I know. It's like level 2000 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Also, my special skill is
Special kill.
my special skill is panic. It's called panic. It's like just when you think
man.
it's about to get good, I panic and then all progress is like deleted. There we go.
Nice work.
You
Good
mean
skill.
reset?
Yeah, reset. No, it's called panic in this game.
Shortcut reset.
There's no positive at all, man. What kind of skill is this?
Hey, no one said skills were always a good thing. You know what I mean? All right, we also have Amanda in the chat saying, "But you learn through leveling up." There we go. We learn through experience. All right,
True,
TK.
real talk.
Yeah, TK.
Indeed.
All right, your turn, buddy.
I don't know, man. I guess if you play League, I'm like level 30. I'm enough to rank and play, but he doesn't even do well right now. He doesn't even do well.
Oh shoot! Good one. Good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's like another layer, right? Is your rank. It's not
Yeah.
just level. There's rankings
Exactly.
too,
It's like
right? Are you bronze?
No,
or
we're done with this
challenger?
analogy. We're done with this analogy, Janice. We're done with this analogy. We're done. This
There's
dating
so many
game.
directions to go.
sorry
This.
guys, I don't play competitive.
And that's why he's level 200.
He only plays 3v3.
Yeah, I only play 3v3.
At least play
Twisted tree
Abraham.
line
Oh
only.
my
Only
gosh,
Abraham.
you are
Earth
all
mode only.
terrible. You're
Earth
all
mode
terrible. All right. Let's get into the real topic of this podcast. Is
Okay,
the rest of
okay.
the dating game, and it's not just a game, because I swear this entire episode is just gonna be us making analogies of us being bronze. I swear. All right,
I
so
don't know what you're talking about.
I'm silver, bro. So we'll get into the first topic. Kemp's already talked about it slightly. This dating game has gone on for hundreds, thousands of years, maybe not thousands of years, I don't know. But basically, how the dating
Yeah.
game has changed. So pretty much, millennial, quote unquote millennial, us new people on the block, the new kids, the level 30s who's reached the access of competitive rank versus the old school when there wasn't even it was just elos. So, and we'll get into the topic of long distances and long distance relationships and stuff like that. But how has the dating game changed, or your experiences with dating, guys? Anyone want to take a shot at that first?
I'm gonna start with I think the dating game has progressed really hard. I mean, it's gone exponentially harder over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I always get
Hmm.
stories from my dad where it's just like, oh man, I impressed so many girls when I was younger, and it's so easy. Why don't you do this? And it's like, Dad, people are so hard to impress nowadays. I don't think it'll work anymore.
That's true. I think that's true. It's like a job. The same thing. Like baby boomers, it's like, oh yeah, I could get a job and do all these other things on the side. It's like I can't get a job until I have 4 years of experience or something. It's like way harder.
That's very interesting. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think it's more difficult?
I think.
I think personally, I think that our standards have increased in just like a globalized world, and our exposure to everything. We're always exposed to more beautiful people, or we're always exposed to smarter people, and it's kind of the idea of always wanting that better and not being able to settle with what you've got.
I think,
And what you got
yeah.
may be great,
Yeah, I think I was gonna say the same thing. Exposure, especially social media and stuff. because I swear to God, I don't know why I'm continuing on with this league analogy, but it's like you watch League of Legends, right? You watch the World Championships, you see Faker, right? You'd be like, man, that guy's good, and then you tune into my stream, and you're like, man, why does this guy suck? There's like expectations versus reality. I think that's a good point, and the reason why there's so many expectations is because of that exposure through social media or just media in general. Because like movies, there's always that like Zac Efron or I don't know who, whatever. What's his name? The one who did Magic Mike.
Channing Tatum.
Channing
There you
Tatum.
go. Channing Tatum's. There you go. The Rock. All those kind of people. I don't know whoever. Who's Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah, she's so beautiful.
who's that other girl from Pitch Perfect? Anna Kendrick. There you go. People liked
Mm.
her. I feel like that's an example of it. So, also, if you're watching on
Agreed.
the live stream, feel free to put your input in the chat below. I'll gladly take your input and put into the podcast as well. So, Janice, what about you?
Interesting. Are we still on the question of what, like, how the dating game has changed?
Sure, if you want. Yeah.
I mean, obviously the biggest change has been technology, right? Um, which isn't surprising because whenever technology advances and we have new technology to work with, it really changes the way we all interact with each other, like as a society.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Personally, I feel like, yeah, dating is harder, but at the same time, it's easier too. Because again, technology, like a new date is literally a swipe away. Like it like really broadened the dating pool. Like you meet people that you might never run into otherwise. So I don't know. I I think that it's pretty cool. I haven't personally thought that the dating game got harder.
I partially agree with you. I think that with like Tinder and stuff, you're exposed to so many more significant other possibilities.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think barrier to entry is definitely a lot higher because it's become a lot more like, oh, swipe, 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 and
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's a lot easier to like there's a lot more options, but it's harder to connect
yeah, harder to
with an
connect.
option,
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
Yeah. I was
Like
gonna say that
mutual
too. Like,
connection.
yeah. It's like the barrier of entry
But
isn't difficult, but creating that connection with someone is more. Would you say is more difficult?
well, but again, I feel like also this boils down to communication skills. Like I think I'm a very
Mm.
good communicator. So for me, there is no barrier to entry. Like because I'm very outgoing and I find it easy to connect with people. But I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, and maybe that's why there is this perceived barrier.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's fair to say. That's fair to say. But it's
Yeah,
like,
and I feel like also the fact, kind of ironically, meeting people online, although it's really easy, people also kind of put up a front, so that makes it even harder to connect for real.
Yeah.
I think.
I
Oops,
think
hold on a second. I'm getting a call.
Oh, go ahead, TK. Oh, you're gonna say
I
something?
think my Tinder game is so weak, but throw me in like a crowd of women, and I
Damn.
promise you, I will do my job. Like I'll play the game right. But
So
my
you,
Tinder game is just weak. Tinder
so
game is real weak.
So at that sense, you say the dating game is changed just because it's easier for you personally. It's easier to do something in person versus over electronically or social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's what I think. I think in person I shine.
Mm, that's
But I'm
fair.
just bad at this Tinder thing. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Hold on 1 second. I'm also getting a call. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Pause on the stream.
Yeah, so
Oh, nice. Only the highest production value
Yeah.
the Neon podcast.
make sure to drink a lot of water.
Dang.
Okay, bye.
I don't think I'd say the same thing.
Hello?
If you threw me into like a crowd of women, I don't think I'd probably do better than
You think your
Whoa,
Tinder
wait.
game is
Why
way
are we
better?
throwing Kemp
No,
into a crowd of
I
women?
don't. I mean, I don't use Tinder. I don't believe in Tinder, but I think if you put me like online, you get the same thing as if you put me in like a crowd of women. I
Oh,
don't
really?
think I do better. I don't think I do better or I do worse in
Like whether it's in
different
person
types of
or
scenarios.
online?
Yeah.
All right, so sorry about that.
Interesting.
Um,
Pretty
yeah. I
psycho.
mean, all right. So this personal story for me. Um, so I'm partially the opposite of Travis. Like it depends like how I'm feeling on the day. But for me, sometimes I find it easier talking to someone over the internet just because, or like just messaging or text. You know, like where I don't have to see their face, just because sometimes I don't have to try as hard. Um,
Mm,
so I mean, there's that aspect to it as well. Versus where you like, old school everything. It's like you always have to. It always has to be in person, right? Or at the very least, it'd be like in old school style, it'd be like just a phone call. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think that's where it is. I think especially because like I'm not as good in person. Like I feel like it would be way more obvious for me that I would be nervous than I am just like texting you or messaging you. You know what I mean? You have more
Mm,
time to think about it than in the moment.
yeah.
So yeah.
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 Quick reaction.
It's a lot easier to control the way you present yourself online or over text because sometimes, like, there are certain physical, like, communication cues that you just can't control.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. True.
Like some people are really awkward in person and that really hurts them, but they might be like very eloquent over text.
That's true. So we also have, see, Amanda in the chat saying, I feel that the dating game is a bit harder on single people because of the fact that most people are on their phones than talking on the person in front of them, which leads them to miss out on an opportunity. So,
That's interesting. Again, I haven't been single for 2 years, so my maybe my information is outdated, but I actually never felt that way when I was single either. Like, I never thought that. I hear that all the time that people are always looking at their phones and they're not engaging with the world around them, but I've never really thought that that was a real issue. I don't know. Like, when I was
But
single, I still had plenty of people always come up to me and, like, strike up a conversation or ask me for my number. And, like, I never had a problem walking up to people or noticing people.
I see,
But
I see.
again, that could just be me, and my information could be dated.
No, I agree with you. I think if you whatever it may be that brings you to this person to want to go after and talk to this person, um, it's I don't think the phone. I think the phone becomes an excuse, but I don't think it's an inhibitor.
Yeah. Okay. See, I will say, I do think, maybe for some people who might naturally be a bit more shy, like their phone is like a convenient way to just, not have to engage with people around them.
True.
So I feel like it's like if you're already predisposed towards acting a certain way, like stuff like technology would
Mm-hmm.
kind of amplify that effect.
Makes sense.
Okay, I think that's totally fair to say. But that's based off your own experiences, where some other
Mhm.
people might experience it differently, or might not have experienced it the same way as you. So I
Yeah,
mean
and I'm
that
sure
just is
also
that.
there are differences in like what area you live in or what areas you hang out in. I'm sure like the types of people around you, I'm sure all of those are factors
Oh yeah, definitely,
in like
definitely.
those kinds of experiences.
For
Yeah,
sure, everybody's experience is different. Yeah.
got you,
Yeah.
got you.
I'm
So
sure oh,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead,
we
go
can
ahead,
continue.
go ahead. S- Mm, let's see, Kemp, you have anything to throw in, or nah?
no, I pretty much talked to TK about it when you guys are on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay, okay, that's fair to say. So like, if if you had to change something about the dating game the way it is now, from your own perspective and your own opinions, what would be something that you would change? Whether it's like to help you better, or there's just something that you don't like and then would just like to change. Whether that can be like overall expectations or like the dating game overall. It's like you don't like Tinder, or you know what I mean, or
Um,
even gender roles. It's like, oh, let's say you're at like a club or a bar. It's like, do I have to buy you a drink? You know what I mean? Or like the stereotypes, stuff like that. So if there's something you could change, one or multiple, go ahead.
I mean, I think one thing that I hear a lot. Well, I'm gonna give two different things. One is that I hear people say a lot like they hate playing the game. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to act like I don't care, but I care. I really I have qualms with it, but I think it also shows that someone's willing to put strategic thoughts into and time into how they pursue you. So it's like a double-edged sword,
Mm.
in my opinion. And then the other one, I think, um, I hear a lot of guys say is that, um, if I wish a girl paid for stuff on the first day or like paid for drinks, but I mean,
Oh.
technically, we still make 30 cents to a woman's dollar, right? Or women still make 20
mm,
cents to a man's dollar. So I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
okay. I can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say the only thing I would change, although it's already changing, I feel, is the persistence of like gender roles. Obviously,
Oh, all right.
um,
I dig that.
I do feel like it's changing. Like I think that people don't always expect traditional things anymore. Like when I was still single, I identify as a feminist. So whenever I
Woo.
would like go on a date, I'd be like, I feel like whoever asks the other person on a date should offer to pay.
Ooh.
I'm the same. I'm the
Ooh.
same. I agree with you.
Regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, if you
Agreed.
ask the other person out on a date, I think you should pay. But the person who is asked on the date, I think that if they enjoy themselves, they should pay for the next date or they should like get dessert or something.
Okay. I think that's fair. But so going on with that, like paying for the first date and like whoever asks out who first, right? You like you've talked about it, but what do you think about like the gender roles of who's asking who out? Like, do you know
I think
like
it's
people
so
like
stupid that there's any expectation at all based on
Oh,
gender, like for who should be asking who out. Like anyone should be able to ask anyone that they want out, you know? Like the
mhm.
idea that men should always ask girls out is so stupid because first of all, that doesn't take same-sex couples into account. And second of all, like it just assumes that all men have to be really outgoing and like
Yes.
put themselves out there when all men aren't.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't subscribe to that idea. And I wish that like any kind of gender roles just didn't come into play at all
Nice. Nice.
anymore.
Well said. Well said. Kemp, you got anything to change about the game?
I'm not sure if it's like changing anything about the game, but it's just like I appreciate it if it's just like more people or just like everyone in general is just like more honest to who they are.
Yeah.
I think the thing with like stuff like Tinder is just like we brought this up before. It was like people put up a front of
Mm.
themselves, and it's just like
Mhm.
it gives others the wrong idea about who they are, and it's like when someone who likes that front like attempts to reach out to that person
Mhm.
and they see something different, it just gives them like a bad aftertaste and just like I don't want to try this again, stuff like that. So I think like if we want like stuff like Tinder to work, it's just like people need to be like more honest. And I mean, it's not just Tinder, just like everywhere else in general too.
Mm. That's true. That's true. Because like I feel like that's also just part of the dating game in general. It's like putting up a front is like more or less normal until like a certain stage. And I feel like that's kind of hard for people who really want to put themselves out there. It's like, oh yeah, I have insecurities. I'm it's hard for me to be vulnerable, especially to someone new in your life, or almost someone new. You know what I mean? Depending on like how you play the game, or you want to meet someone new right away, or it's like building up the relationship through friends. But I think that's a totally fair point to bring up. We have Errol in the chat. He says, "I think the gesture overall is more important. The fact that they considered to meet you halfway is almost my at. Sorry, let me repeat that. I fucked that up. The
You're good.
gesture overall is more important. The fact that they considered to meet you halfway in almost any aspect means a lot." So there you go. There's Errol's
Real
point of
talk.
view. And then Amanda, yes, Janice, preach in all caps. There you go. There you go. Yes, yes, Janice.
Yes.
Break them gender roles. There we go. There we go.
I mean, they ain't helping nobody. They aren't.
There. I think that's
True
totally
that.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, just like more obstacles in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, why are we making things harder on ourselves when it doesn't have to be that way? So I think that's fair. I think for me, anyways, what I would change is how shoot, how do I put this? How it's portrayed in media, because
Ooh, that's a
just
good point.
yeah,
Very
because I
good
was like I
one.
was trying to figure out how to word it. Yeah, how it's portrayed in media, because it's like
Mhm.
there's always these rom-com movies where it's good in the end, because you know how like a movie goes. It's like you meet someone, oh, they start dating, something goes wrong, there's a problem, and then at the end, more often than not, like 90% of the time, they're gonna end up together, and it's gonna be like, oh, hooray, romance.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
that's what I want to
It's
change.
like
Like that's the
it's like
cliche. That's the cliche. That's like stereotyping a movie.
it's the idea of like true love, like true love trumps all or something like that.
True love trumps all. True love at
It's a,
first
Something like
I
that.
mean,
Like
sight.
there's
group
so
phase.
many like
Like you know what I
It's
mean. There's so many
realistic
variations to
ideas.
it, right?
Yeah.
But it's
Like,
like,
okay, I think that's really funny because I just want to add that actually, until my most recent relationship, I actually thought that you could learn a lot from romantic movies and stuff. Yeah, I'm very naive, sorry. But now that I'm actually in like, a mature, fulfilling relationship, I realize that there really aren't a lot of like you never see the real thing portrayed in the media, which is fine. Like it's fun, but
yeah,
it is definitely kind of bad for people who are younger and watching that, or people who might be naive like I used to be, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
real love is hard. It takes a
yeah,
lot of work.
Yeah,
So
it's
much
a lot
work.
of hard work and on both ends. But
Yep.
like people don't realize that. Like you hear all this talk about soulmates and stuff, and personally, I do believe in the concept of soulmates, but I think that soulmates like it's like it's like the ideal body. You're not magically born with it. Like you have to go to the gym, you have to like eat right, you have to put in work and then you can get it. Like
yeah.
that's what I think.
I think like yeah, that's definitely a good point. It's like that. Not only that you have to work for your own ideal, quote unquote, but I think it's also just the some people might have like the predisposition of just having like the mentality that it's gonna be how it's portrayed in the media. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
for me that's how it was. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be this way because I'm doing this thing. You know what right? You know what I mean? There's also like what is that toxic ass Reddit? It's like nice guy Reddit or whatever, and it's just a bunch of
Oh
just
yeah.
like uh what's the word? Entitled guys who think they're there you go, like guys who think they're entitled to something just because they're being nice. So I mean, there's also
Yeah.
like there's that concept to it, and that's probably like something that I would personally want to change, just because that puts a not just the expectation of quote unquote gender roles that you talked about, Peach, but I think it also talks about like if you put it in a more realistic light, um, I think it'll reach out to more people, and I think that's how the dating game could change. Because media is such a big presence in our society. So yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Okay,
Nice.
for sure, for sure. Are we good on this? old school, new school stuff or whatever? You good?
Like the dating game.
Sorta. Okay. Let me go on the subtopic of this. What are your thoughts on long distance? Does it what can it work? Does it work?
Long
Of
distance
course it
can
can work.
definitely work, but it's just
Definitely.
harder. More
It's
work than
harder. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yep.
I think in the more recent days, it's a lot harder because more people have more insecurities.
Ooh, I think that's a good
Oh,
one.
and actually, to jump off of that, it is easier too because now
Because
you
of
have
technology.
because of technology. Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
But yeah, it's both easier and harder because again, like because of technology, it's easier to stay in touch and all that stuff. But again, because of technology, there's so many more temptations.
It's just because there's
Yes.
technology.
It's like,
There's more room for doubt.
yeah, and
Ooh,
it's like,
okay.
oh, do I want to stick it out with this person who lives 1,000 miles away, or should I just go back to Tinder and find 100 people like 10 miles from me?
There you go. So I think you all hit the nail on the head pretty well.
Oh, there's a right answer.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I didn't say you hit it right, but you hit it.
Every answer is a right answer.
I mean, hold on, hello. Let's not get with that. Not every answer is the right answer. It depends on the person. There's a right answer for everyone. Doesn't mean it's the same answer. Because I know some people who say long distance is so difficult that they think that it might not work. Whether it's like the amount of work that you have to put in,
I
or
mean, there's
effort, or
just
your
so
own
many.
securities, but I think it just depends on the person. Because if you're not the
Yeah.
type to put in, not necessarily put in the work, but it's like you're not used to the situation per se, then it's probably not going to work out, and that's why I just want to just put that out there on the other side of the coin. Because it's like you all say yes if you put in the work, but if you're not able to put in the work, you know what I mean? It's like, let's say two people are very long distance, but the amount of work they have before the significant other at their current time, it's like their schedule is completely packed, time zones are different. It's just the work. I'm not saying that
I
the work
mean,
isn't
like,
worth it. It's just so much more difficult on
I mean, every
the party.
relationship comes out to this, right? It's like, do the pros outweigh the cons?
No.
Yep.
Like,
True that.
are you getting equal return for what you're putting in and investing into the
Mm.
relationship?
Mm.
So, in the case of long distance, like successful long distance relationships, it's because you have like a really solid connection with this person that you know you won't be able to find very easily.
True. True.
And it would be easier to put in all the work with the long distance relationship than to find that connection again with someone else,
Oh, that's totally fair to say. I agree. Anyone
right?
else?
Nope. I agree. I agree. Yep.
Kemp, anything, or do you want to move on?
Are there actually like people out there who are just like completely selfless and
No.
you know
No one's
that's
ever
that's not
completely
a
selfish.
that's not a thing, right?
No, I
Well,
think
there are.
everybody. I think even when you're trying to be selfless, you're doing it kind of for yourself, just because doing good things to see other people happy makes you feel happy. I think in turn, we're always a selfish creature. I mean, that's how we have continued to live this long. Is that we're selfish.
Uh huh. Definitely.
And that's how any creature has lived this long because they're selfish. Um, so yeah, that's what I think.
No, I get you. I get you. It's like it's it might look selfless in another person's eyes, but at the same time, it's like they're doing it for other people so they can feel better. It's like, what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not necessarily a direct kind of feeling, you know what I mean? It has to go through someone else before it gets back to yourself. I think.
yeah,
Well, that's why I said successful long distance relationships operate on that kind of
Mm,
like operate on the fact that they have a positive ROI.
yes,
But
that is
because
perfect.
basically, if someone is in a relationship like that, they just completely give and give and give. At some point, they're not going to have anything left to give, and it's not going to work. It's going to fail. Like either it's going to destroy them, or like the other person in the relationship won't be satisfied anymore. Either way, it's going to fail.
Got you,
Like it's
got
not
you.
going to be a successful, healthy relationship.
Makes sense, makes sense. And then we also have Amanda again saying long distance is really hard to work with, especially with the distance, because it's honestly just as hard as a short distance relationship, just because of the hardships that you have to go through. So basically, regardless of what the distance is, as long as you have the relationship, there's gonna be hardships. There's gonna be problems that
Of course, you
people are
always
gonna go
it's
through,
so
and
much work involved.
mm,
Like
yeah, I think that's a very good point to bring up. Thank you, Amanda. All right, so we'll just go on to the next topic. Basically, should I date someone or something? Why did
something. Who
Sorry,
did this?
I wrote it on the notes as something or
Who did
someone, someone that I'm not necessarily attracted to. So like core beliefs, physical looks, settling, the concept of settling.
I say
Um,
no
uh-huh. That was
because
quick.
that's what friendships are for.
What do you mean by
And
that?
like if you're not attracted to a person, but you're going to date them, why are you dating them? Like because they could be your friend. You could have a really good, fulfilling friendship, right? But
Okay.
why would you have to date them? Is it because you're lonely? If you're lonely, then you really shouldn't be dating them just because you're lonely, right?
Mm, that's fair.
I
That's
Like
agree.
fair.
I agree
that's
100%.
that's a bad idea with a capital B. Like, so
I agree that you should be physically attracted to someone um before you date them. They were at some point physically attractive to you because we're such like visual creatures. Like I think
yeah,
Mm,
it's hard to deny vision.
yeah, and
mm-hmm.
I think it's like I think this is a different case than you weren't attracted to someone and then you became attracted to them.
Hmm.
Then yeah, by all means, go ahead, date them. But if you're still not attracted to them, but you're trying to force a relationship, again, there is the exception to this, which is people who are asexual, because you're just not going to be attracted to anyone. So you
Yeah,
should still have a romantic relationship.
yeah,
But
asexual, it's like I only love me for me.
there's people who are not sexually attracted to others.
We also had Gerard in the chat saying hashtag truth to that speech. Damn, get it, get it. There you go. Just being friends because you're not
But
attracted
yeah,
to each other. I think that's fair. Oh
my
yeah,
vote is no. Don't do it.
don't do it. Okay,
Most likely a bad idea.
okay, okay. That's fair. Camp TK, you guys got anything?
It's pretty much the same thing, but I mean, yeah, if um you had to like something about
Yeah. So like,
who you're interested in.
got you, got you. So
Something
like,
has to,
oh sorry,
yeah,
go ahead, go ahead.
something has to pull you in. If nothing pulls you in, what's the point? Yeah, so
Yeah,
pretty much whatever Peach just said.
yeah, I agree. And the thing is, like, attraction takes so many shapes and forms. So you could be attracted like to someone's hair, or you could be attracted to their
Yeah.
smile, you could be attracted to their laughter or their
Yeah, like
charisma.
you could even be attracted to their personality. Like someone's personality could sexually attract you.
Yeah.
So if you still aren't attracted to someone, it's probably a no-go.
Okay, so sorry. Let me pose this question in a slightly different light. In the terms of not of sort of settling on a person is like, would you overlook um some person's flaws or something that you're not attracted to about that person because something else about them is more attractive to you? For saying like you don't personally like the way they look physically, right? Or something, but you just really like them as a person. And let's like, do you overlook that? Do you overlook
Hmm.
a certain aspect of
Yes.
a person just because you like something else of them about them more? What do you guys think?
I don't know about other people, but I'm the kind of person where even if I don't initially find someone attractive, if I get to know that person and they become very attractive to me, like personality wise, like everything just kind of falls into place like dominoes.
Mm.
Like I
Okay.
start noticing their physical features that are more favorable, and then anything that I don't like, I kind of just stop noticing it. naturally.
That's crazy because I feel like I'm the opposite.
See, there you go. This is
feel
why I'm
like-
asking the question.
I feel like when I first meet girls, I always find something attractive about them. Well, I'm a straight male, so I'm speaking in terms of just girls. Whenever I see a girl, I find the most attractive thing about them, and I kind of cling onto that. But then over
Mhm.
time, like they just become less attractive to me for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
Maybe I just haven't found somebody that I'm attracted to enough to.
Are your standards too high?
That's what a lot of my friends say, that my standards are very high.
There's no
If
such thing.
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, I think your standards should be whatever you want them to be. But at some point, you know.
Honestly, I don't think standards matter. Like, you're gonna eventually meet people and fall for them, regardless of what standards you think you have. Like,
Yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe I just haven't found the right one yet, but I do. I feel like, I mean, something that came up with one of my roommates is that if you go by these standards, you might be missing out on the person that you could spend the rest of your life with because you already limited
like
them from the
if you
standard.
dismiss other people because they
Yes.
don't measure up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only time I would say having quote unquote high standards is bad, is like if you're letting it cloud your judgment and like you're very strictly weeding people out according to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I do that sometimes. Majority of the time.
I see. So,
I think we found the problem.
okay. So let me ask you. Let me like build upon that for everyone to answer. So basically, how much time or effort do you say is enough for you, or enough? Oh yeah, enough for you to say it's like I've more or less to figure out a person, or like I've seen enough of this person to make a judgment call. Because I know, obviously this varies depending on the person you are dating, right? But like, how about for you? Like, how long does it take for you to realize, like, yeah, this person wouldn't make it out for me, like a couple days, a month, or time-wise, anyways, on average?
Dude, it's so hard to say. Like, it really is different
Yeah.
with every person.
I don't think you really put a number because I mean, some people just take time to like reveal themselves or like open up to others. Some
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
just open.
Okay, yeah. So
There's so
basically,
many different factors. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Based
It's
off
so
your
hard to say.
yeah, based
I
off
mean-
your own experiences, not like general, like your
Oh,
own
yeah.
personal.
Okay.
It's like how much time do you give a person? Like, not want to say give a person, but like how much time do you take to give to
Yeah,
another
I mean-
person? How much of your time, attention, and effort and energy do you give to more or less make a judgment call? Like if you've experienced it.
Okay, so for me, it's like if you're a really shitty person, I want to cut you off immediately.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't look good enough, I'm gonna cut you off immediately.
Damn.
Dang. All right. See. Well.
What
See.
a
This is why I'm
savage.
asking. That's
Let's
exactly why
say-
I'm asking.
You're really pretty and you have like an okay personality. I might try to
Okay,
work things out for a little bit longer.
Wow.
Or just say if you have a great personality and you have like okay looks, I might try to work things out longer. You know?
Yeah. So it obviously depends. Obviously.
It's a balance. It's a balance.
He's into people that min max their skills.
Yeah, dude. He's a scout, bro. He's a scout.
He's the guy in the he's the guy in the front lines, you know.
Oh my
There
god,
you
he's
go.
an
I respect
assassin.
that.
He's
He's an assassin. He specializes in scouting,
yeah.
vision control, and short controlled bursts.
Yeah, because it's like he's an assassin.
He's not
If
into
he
the
likes
like,
kill if he likes to kill it, he likes to kill the carries because they're quick. He
Yes,
he doesn't
I
want to
know.
go for a
Just
tank,
quick
dude.
to
Who wants to
side,
go
man.
for a tank first? Come on.
This guy, he's not a late game champ. He's early game for sure.
Let's see. We
none of that DPS shit.
Early game assassin. That's
Alright,
it.
here we go. We got Mark Oliva in the chat. What's up, baby? I love the logo. He made it, by the way. That's Mark, creator of the heart
Oh.
logo, heart logos, and the
That
background.
is a nice logo. Good job, Mark.
And we have Andrew Pagan. He's honest though, so there you go, Travis. TK, you got a supporter right there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, man.
Give it to you
Hey,
real.
that's number one thing, man. Honesty is number one thing.
Hey, that's totally fair. All right, Cam, Janice, do you want to go, or do you guys want me to go? Someone like smacking their lips. are, are you implying something? Are you implying something right now, Janice? Are you? Do you want me to go? Is that passive aggression right there?
Niran, you know me. I'm aggressive.
Yeah,
I'm not.
smacking lips is not aggressive enough. Just say it, damn it. All right, I'm joking. I'm joking, of course. But all right, I'll go. For me, I think based off my own experiences, and how I meet people and talk to girls, because I'm also a straight male. Um, for me, I would say about uh oddly specific, but like I would say a month, month and a half. Because for me, I usually
Wow, that's long.
hey, I play the game slow. That's why I'm only level 50. Calm
The
down.
late game.
The late game. There you
You're
go.
on
Yes, the late game, baby.
He's
Late game.
seasoned.
Seasoned veteran.
He farms in lane. He farms till 30.
Yo, I'm in for the macro game. I'm a
He
shot
doesn't-
caller. I don't
He
have to play
doesn't move till
aggressive.
his minion count is at 400.
Shut up. All right, enough with the league analogies. We get it. All right, so for me, I would say a month, month and a half, because if I'm in contact with that person, I feel like,
Lord.
look, for me, I haven't had that much experiences. Quote, hence why I'm still single. Duh. I feel like that's obvious enough. But I think for me, I like to take my time because I really want to get to know the person before I make any like major calls. Because for me, dating, I take dating a little bit more seriously. It's like, like I'm not the type of guy to just hook up or something, right? I have like standards for myself. This isn't based off another person. This is me. Like I'm making a decision on whether this person is going to be good for me. And we talked about this on last week's podcast, but I think it was Kat or Jasmine that said is like that person. I want that person to enhance my own lifestyle and make me a better person. So I think for me, whether in more or less consistent communication with this girl, for me anyways, it would be say a month, just because I've interacted with them. I think at that point we've opened up to each other to a certain degree, and at that point I can make a more decisive call whether to say that this person would be good for me in the long run. So I think
Mhm.
that's why I like to take it slow and weigh not weigh my options, but weigh the option of like would I be happy? Um would I be okay with this person? Would I be happy? Stuff like that. So for me, I would say month, month and a half. But it's not like um. Okay.
Dave, you're like a strategist.
Yeah,
You're
duh.
like
I'm
analyzing as you go forward.
yeah, I'm a shot caller, but I'm not a number
Alright, so
cruncher.
TK's the scout and Neuron is the general. He's the shot
I'm the
caller.
shot caller. I take things
He's
at
a-
my I take
He's a
things at my
top
pace.
asset.
Yeah, I take things at my
He's
pace.
a-
I don't go at anyone else's
he's the
pace. I play
late
my
shot
game.
caller.
I play my game. TSM, just kidding.
He's playing support or jungle.
Yeah. All right. Camp or Janice, either of you two want to go next?
I agree with Nair on that. I want to also win options, but I think a month, maybe a month and a half, might be a bit too long.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. You're totally
Also varies.
on. You're totally
Because I think you know how it's a 2-player game, okay?
true.
Sometimes
True.
a
True.
month will be too long, and then like the girl will be like, me just be friends, and then
Hey, you're right.
you won't even know
You
it,
missed
'cause,
the
like,
window of
yeah,
opportunity.
you missed the window.
You missed it. It closed.
Yeah, like I think that's
Team
my
fight's
that's my
already
only-
over.
You didn't group with the team.
Yeah, you did good.
They
That's already
stole
over.
Baron.
Yeah.
Somebody stole Baron.
Oh my gosh.
If you can, think if you can like analyze like how the other person is feeling, it's just like you overall.
The other person, nobody can ever analyze the other person.
It's just
That's the hard
communication. It's just communication at that point, right?
Yeah, I think that's
true.
that's fair. That's fair.
Mhm.
So you would say less less than a month then, like for sure less than a month.
Probably, but I mean, yeah, it depends on the person.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think you should, yeah, I think you should know after like a few times.
2 dates.
Probably more than that.
Okay, that's fair.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
depends on the gap in time between two.
Got you. So there's that time of
Nice.
not sort of consistency, but time intervals of interaction as well. I think also is very important in this question to think about. I think that's also for me,
Yeah.
just because I'm also not the type to be like, let's hang out every week. You know, if the opportunity presents itself, obviously, maybe. But I'm also not the type that's like, I like to not necessarily bide my time, but you know what I mean. Take it slow. Take it slow.
Yeah,
Late game.
I get that. Cause I'm like similar to. I don't want to like dive like straight in. I want to know. I also want to weigh my options, but
Yeah, dude.
like after some point, it's just like you gotta think about the other person.
Yeah, take a dive and then use stopwatch. There you go,
Very
baby.
interesting. Oh God.
All right, there you go. Peach, go ahead. Your turn. Your turn, girl. Who's gonna praise you in
Alright,
chat
so-
today?
So for me, when I was single, I would definitely say I didn't really have set time. Basically, if I was interested in someone, I would pursue it as long as like I was still interested. Like if someone said or did something that turned me off, that was it.
Okay,
Like
that's
if like
fair.
a big thing, like oh, you go on a date and then you find out that this guy has really strict ideas of gender roles, and then you're like, all right, peace, I'm out.
Okay.
You eat the dinner right there and then.
I don't want to touch it. No, like obviously I'll finish the date, but then
Because the girl got to eat, right? I know.
no, okay, whenever
Hey,
whenever I had-
hey, the food though. The food though.
no, whenever I had a bad date, I would pay for it.
What?
And because I knew I was gonna
Dang.
ghost them after.
No way.
Dang, that's
If I was having a bad day, I'd pay for it. Why you want to come out on top?
No, I'm gonna pay for it because I don't want to owe this like crap bag anything.
Dang.
dang.
And that way I can just ghost on him and be like, listen, I pay for my food. Bye, bitch. Like,
Dang.
Damn,
Alright,
son.
damn. Okay.
Will
Okay.
you actually say that like word for word?
no, because I'm a nice person.
No, she'll do it.
Unless they-
She'll do it
they were-
professionally. She'll be like, "Hey, I appreciate the. It's like an interview. Hey, I appreciate the time and effort that you put in, but sorry, You're not the person I'm looking for this job."
No,
Oh,
honestly,
nice bachelorette.
I think most girls are like this. So, like, at
Dang,
least
okay,
most
okay.
girls I know, like, they will pay for a drink or pay for their food just to get out of a bad date because they don't
Okay.
care. Like, free food or a free drink is not worth like suffering
shit.
through a horrible date.
Okay.
So does that mean if they pay for my dinner, then I'm on a bad date?
Unless they ask
don't
you
know,
out
man,
for
it
it
might-
first.
it might
Unless they ask
backfire.
for you first. Remember, we established this. If
Oh,
whoever
yeah, that's right.
we established this. But yes, watch out for that. We also have Sherry Fam from the Bay Area as well, also saying
What up, Bam?
true. Same. Haha. See, you got people in the chat cheering for you, Jan. It's like, please, every time you preach, there's someone in the chat.
Okay, but it's because every time it's a girl and I'm the only girl talking, so obviously I am like putting forth the
They
female
gotta
point of
stick together,
view.
you know?
Okay, well, to be fair, Gerard also said truth, but that was something else. That was a guy. Okay, so okay, let me
Right.
if I can ask you like a slightly personal question. If you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but how much time did you and Doug take? I don't know if Doug's still watching, but
He's not watching. He went out.
all right. How much time
The-
was it before you made a decision? Be like, yeah, he's cute. I'm attractive. We'll go on multiple
So
dates.
this is the funny thing about me and Doug. Right around the time that we met. I mean, first of all, you already know how we
I
met
know,
was
but-
a little unconventional.
Yes, I know, but
Um,
other people do not. So if up to you whether you want to Whether
Okay,
want to.
so
If you want to elaborate, you can. If you don't, that's totally understandable.
all right, guys. So Doug and I met because I Tinder matched with his roommate,
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
I remember the story.
and it sounds worse than it is. Like honestly, me and the roommate like never really went on a date or anything, and like, anyways. So with Doug and I, it was really interesting because we, when we first started hanging out, we saw each other almost every single day. So it became a thing very quickly. But around that same time, I had made the decision with myself because I was at this point in life where I was very jaded romantically. I had had really horrible dates and experiences and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of failed relationships that I had sunk so much time and effort into that really
Mm-hmm.
left me feeling very drained. Um, and I kind of told myself that I was going to stop caring so much and like analyzing so much and just having fun in the moment. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if I'm enjoying this and it's good for me and I'm feeling good about myself and my life, then I'm going to keep pursuing it. If it turns into something that's very draining or toxic, I'm just going to stop. So I just kept going because it kept like our relationship kept providing me with a lot of value,
Mm.
and I started to see that he like you were talking about having someone who enhances your life. Like he really did enhance my life in so many different ways, like ways that I didn't even know someone could enhance your life.
Yeah, they play Caitlyn and Wayne.
So it yeah, like I knew very early. But also we hung out like a lot. Like we literally saw each other like every day, and we would stay out together till like freaking 5 in the morning. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm like 25. I'm not in high school. What am I doing? But when it
Yeah.
happens, it happens, you know?
So
I
so
feel like you can't think too much about it. And that's usually when um, you fall into like a relationship like that.
got you, got you. So for you, would you say just like although you were hanging out and seeing each other every day, would you say it was more of a gradual thing for you? Because you since you didn't cut it off immediately, you could you say it was a slight gradual thing for you that you experienced and started noticing?
I definitely think that I opened up very slowly to him because again, I was super jaded
Uh-huh.
at this
Got you,
time when
got
I
you.
met him.
Makes sense, makes sense.
But yeah, like obviously when we first met, we were extremely attracted to each other, so that was super exciting. But I very slowly opened up to him in a more serious and lasting way.
Mm.
But like I said, I was like, all right, this is okay. This is okay. Like, I'm not dying, so I'm gonna keep doing this.
I'm not dying. That's a terrible expression to say. All
I
right.
like how death is your determinant of
Yeah.
continuing that.
I'm like, this is
Not dead
okay.
yet, guys.
Not
This is
dead yet.
cool.
Let's keep going. Let's see.
Yeah.
Amanda again saying in chat. Oh, I feel you, Janice. Dang, you got like a following up in this. Follow her. Follow her social media. God damn.
Yeah, you want to shout out your tags?
No, because I'm so bad with social media.
Okay.
My Instagram is really old. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. Okay. So I think that's a good transition point to the next topic I had in mind for this podcast. Which
Mhm.
was, have you seen yourself grow and change because of a relationship? It doesn't necessarily have
Ooh.
to be a romantic relationship. It could be like a friend relationship because I've seen myself grow because I've lost a friend. Um, but
Yeah.
also it doesn't have to be um, good growth. It could be bad growth. Well, I don't know if that's considered growth, but you know what I mean. Like you've seen yourself change because of a certain relationship. Whether it was through an interaction, whether um, you continue to grow with a person, or even because you lost someone that you you grew. Because like people experience things differently. Like I said, I experienced both a pain and growth because I lost a friend. So I mean, however you want
Mhm.
to see it. Dominic in the chat. I am Neon Gaming. Damn right, buddy. We are Neon Gaming. There we go. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah. So if you guys want to tackle that question, Go ahead.
I think you learn from every relationship, despite you losing or staying in that relationship.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Just because I mean, we're always constantly learning about ourselves, learning about the world around us, and you can
I
only continue to grow.
I think you should be learning from every relationship. That's
Yeah.
not always the case.
True. True.
Some people repeat their mistakes, but yeah, definitely you could learn from everything. You should.
Yeah.
I agree.
For sure. For sure. If you guys have any stories, let me know, and then you can get into a
Oh,
story. Same thing with people in chat. If
this
you have,
podcast would never end.
all right, all right, you can like TLDR your stories.
Yeah.
TLDR.
And then also people in chat, if you have your own stories or experiences, if you want to talk about it, feel free to put it in the chat. Um, uh, for me, I don't mind going next. For me, I think because of what I've experienced. For people who know me personally and know my story, if you were there last week, Roger was teasing me about that story. Kemp knows, Janice knows it slightly, but for me, I think it was a gradual growth of over years that I would experience either something really good or really bad. Obviously it depends on when I'm talking about, but for me, it was either a very slow growth where it's like, oh yeah, I'm understanding it just because I was a kid, I was in high school, versus something big happening in my life with a person or with a friend or romantic or whatever. But it's like it was either super slow and I'd get it like eventually, or immediately like in your face, bam, like I'm good. I see there's something that just opens my eyes to a new thing. So I think for me, whether that's good or bad, it really depends on just I wouldn't say that one event happening in your life with that person, but it usually is for me that in the sense that um something important to you has to happen. Not necessarily because of another person,
Mm.
but I think man, I'm just rambling on right now. Um
No, man. It's all
but
good.
damn, I got distracted because my mom came home.
This
Um,
is this is nothing new to me.
oh yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Kemp knows everything about this story, but it's just sometimes growth, for me is starts off really slow and then it just hits me really hard. So that's me, because it's like, oh, I think
I
I'm
feel
getting
like,
there, and then when I get there, it's like I fall off a cliff. So yeah.
but see, I feel like it's necessary to go through hardship and to experience pain in order to facilitate growth,
Agreed.
because it's the act of figuring out how to overcome those obstacles that forces you to grow. I mean, it's like you're not, again, going back to the gym analogy, like you're not going to become stronger if you don't work out. And like, it's not a workout if you don't push yourself and challenge yourself. And like, like literally the way your muscles grow is by creating tiny tears in them so that they heal over. So it's like, I feel like that's the same concept that applies to everything in life. Like, and that's why I feel like, um, yeah, strong, healthy relationships require so much work and have a lot of hardship in them because you're learning and growing together as you overcome those challenges.
I agree. It goes back to the point of like your ROI. Is like at what point does that pain or that the tearing of the muscles affect you too much where you have to like stop?
Exactly. Like if it's like literally an injury,
Yeah.
then you need to not do that anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
you know?
So
Like, bro, if you dislocate your shoulder, maybe not do
yeah.
that one
Yeah.
anymore. Like,
Okay, going on.
maybe pull back.
Okay, so going on with that analogy of working out and going to the gym, would you say that it's also important for, for you or whoever to take a step away, to take a rest day, to take a break from it all, and don't even worry about it and just work on yourself. Because I know we talked about this last podcast, is like self-love.
Absolutely.
There we go.
So this is I'm a very big believer in the idea that in a relationship. Okay, this is also tying back to what we were talking about, like the media perpetuating these harmful ideas about relationships. Okay, so you know the idea that like when you find someone you love, you complete each other. I think that's really dangerous and unhealthy. You shouldn't complete each other. You should already be complete. And then you should
Ooh, I like that.
like you
Ooh.
should complement each other.
Yeah.
You know?
So
Like
if someone
if you're
was like,
incomplete by yourself, that's not good.
dang, that just reminds me of Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm nothing without this suit. If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have the suit at all. Bam! Ooh, there you
Oh
go.
my god.
There you
Right,
go.
that was
Truth.
kind of cheese, but
Hey, it came from a
Truth.
superhero
I
movie.
cringed a little at that part.
Hey, it was super. It's from Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's there you go.
Truth.
In the chat we got.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead if you have something else to say.
Oh no, I was just saying that I only mentioned that because like I feel like in a good relationship, you would recognize that each person needs to take the time to care for themselves also.
Mm-hmm.
And like in a really good healthy relationship, I think you would encourage each other to do that.
Got you. All right, so we got people in the chat. Sherry, again saying, "Dang, this girl, advice and live/viewpoint on these topics on point." Bam. Yes, everything.
Thanks,
Dang.
girl.
There you go. Sherry is your girl Janice over here, and then we have Amanda. I think telling her own story in the chat. Personally, this relationship has taught me the most about self-care as well as focusing on things that mean a lot to me. TLDR, I had a bad relationship before my current, but my current has showered me not only with love and support, but has showed me the many reasons things happen for a reason. So, there you go. I think those are some good stories.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Cool. TK, Kemp, you guys have your own stories or input on this one?
I think going back to what you were saying about like taking a break or to like fix yourself, I don't like necessarily. You don't actually have to like take a break. Everyone should always be working on themselves in one way or another. It's not like you have to like stop, stop the dating game.
Oh, that's true.
Well, I think I feel like maybe a better analogy of that is like you know how we have leg day and chest day and
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna
we
say
don't
the
do
same thing. You
every
can
day.
work on something, but work on something different.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think good
Agree.
point. Yeah, there you go.
And I don't know.
Going back-
Sometimes you do just have to be like a lazy slob, like every now and then. Like that's totally fine.
Cheat
You
day,
have a
cheat day.
It is completely fine. Like treat yourself. You know,
Yeah.
like just have a day where you just go take a bath and eat ice cream in the shower.
That's right. I don't think you have to. You don't always have to be working on something.
Yes. Get me
Sometimes you
that.
can
Get me that
just
bath
be
bomb.
lazy.
Yeah, give me that bath bomb.
Give me that bath bomb. Woo! We got Kat, last week's podcast guest.
Podcast.
Podcast guest. Welcome back to the stream, Kat. There you go. So, all right, let me continue on with this. Like the topic of the question at hand is, do you like who you? Or sorry, do I like who I am when I am or was with that person?
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear the full thing.
So the question, the subtopic for this question is, do I like myself, or do I? Sorry, damn it, I can't read. Do I like who I am when I am with that person?
Ooh. Yes.
So it's like
Or past tense.
past tense, or was with that person. So
Or was it?
yeah, there you go. So basically saying, I know we talked about this last week of you gotta love yourself, but is there a point where you're in a relationship or getting into a relationship that although you might not be happy with yourself but you want to rebuild to that stage that because that there's another person there that you could see supporting you, is it okay to be going into that relationship? It's like, are you going to be do you like yourself? It's like, do I see myself happy with this person even though I'm not necessarily happy with myself? It doesn't have to be like like a rebound situation where it's like they're filling a gap, but it's like the continuation of, is this person enhancing me even though for lack of better words, I'm considered a broken person. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, it's kind of like saying, you know, I may not. Let's say my significant this this person doesn't really exist, but you know, this analogy. Let's say my significant other is like an accountant, and she's like making hundreds and thousands of dollars, and I'm over here like working at McDonald's or something, and I'm not making that same money, you know. And do I like the person I am at the moment? Not necessarily, but I'm trying. I think having that person there to kind of help you through the motions and give you something to work towards is definitely important in a significant other.
I like that. I like the way you worded that. Anyone else?
I feel like this is like an awkwardly worded question.
It is. Honestly, it is. I worded it pretty bad. But
and the thing is, like, it doesn't have to be professional. It could be like emotional too. Like, oh, this person, like my significant other is just so caring. They always show like the best in a person. They always see the best in a person. Like, I want to be like that, you know. So.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Wait. So, what was this question again? Like, are we supposed to say like, do you want us to tell stories of?
It doesn't have to be a story, but it doesn't have to be a story. It could be like what TK
like,
said. It's like.
Are we talking about the importance of liking yourself?
Either one.
The person that you are in a relationship.
Either one. Whatever you want to talk about, as long as it relates to it, whatever. I'm sure whatever you talk about, Sherry and Amanda are gonna go wild.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding.
Now I feel too pressured. I can't say anything.
Now you better be
the expectations.
Next level wisdom.
All right, hold on. I gotta think about what I'm gonna say. Like.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time to think about it.
Expectations.
Church of Janice.
Watch. I'm gonna give Janice like her own feature on my channel. Be like, tips with Janice. But yeah. I mean. One-on-one. It's like 5-minute video every week with Janice. Janice, so what are your thoughts on this?
I think when it comes to like a bad relationship, let's say a bad relationship and it ends, even a bad relationship and it's still going, you're always gonna see the negatives of the relationship.
Oh, okay.
That actually made me think of something else. You know, it's actually really I think it is important to take a look at who you are in a relationship with someone, because I do feel like, especially in bad relationships, you won't be looking at it. You'll be looking at the relationship itself, and you'll be so focused on, why isn't this working out? How can I make this better? Like, what's going on? Or like, you're so focused on fixing it that you're not looking at yourself and noticing maybe this relationship isn't supposed to be, like, maybe this isn't good for you.
Got you.
Because I definitely feel like I see that with a lot of my friends who find themselves in less than ideal situations. I feel like they become so focused on how they can make things work with their partner that they're not looking at what all of that is doing to themselves.
Got you.
And I think people need to be definitely more aware, because like, if you're not at your best, your relationship's not going to be at your best.
Correct.
So,
yeah,
I mean, the psychological theory behind that thing is called attribution theory, where you see things from your perspective and things are happening negatively to somebody else. It's like, oh, that's their fault.
Oh, yeah.
You're never like, oh, it's my fault. It's like, you know, there's bad juju or like bad karma or something out of your control.
Yeah, like you don't feel like you have power over what's happening to you.
Got you. So let me go off what TK said earlier. So about like your analogy of like having the McDonald's or the corporate significant other, right? It's like you see yourself working up towards being like closer and working harder to be a better person, right? So would you say that the opposite would be a bad kind of way to see it would say that you don't if you're with this person, you don't see yourself necessarily growing, and you see this person more of a distraction to take away from what you see in life right now. Would you say that is a bad relationship? You see this person as a distraction rather than an enhancement.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Especially if you think of that like yourself, like you're literally looking at this person, you're thinking, wow, they're distracting me from the things that I want to do in life. Then, yes, you should not be dating that person.
All right. Cool. I just wanted to get that other side of the coin out of the way. So good. Cool. 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 Kemp, I feel like you have something just on the tip of your tongue.
I'm not really sure. I think this goes back to like a work in progress kind of thing.
Hmm.
I think it's I think people should be too critical on their downsides. It's like everyone is like a work in progress, and they can always better themselves in some way.
Ooh, I like
So it's
that.
like if you don't like yourself, then do something about it.
Hmm. I like that. I like that a
Real
lot.
talk.
Well said.
I do
Anyone?
want to say, um, I was still thinking about what you said about the other side of the coin. Um, I feel like also I don't want to say that like, for example, that corporate accountant should never date the person working at McDonald's because
What? Why?
because I think that you can actually okay, so for perspective, I will put forth my own relationship when it first began. I I graduated from UC Santa Barbara and which is a pretty good school. I double majored like, I graduated in 4 years. Like I had a pretty decent job. I was working at a tech startup when I met Doug, and he did not finish college, and he came from a very different background than me. However, he is an extremely hard worker, and he's very goal oriented, and he's very good at planning out what he wants to like achieve in life and then figuring out how to get to it.
Mm.
Me, on the other hand, because I was literally raised from birth to go to a 4 year university and like succeed in that way, like I had never really figured out how to like see something that I want and decide that I'm going to go for it and go for it. Like, even with obstacles or things in my way. Like, basically, everything in my life has been very easy, but he's faced a lot of hardships and he's overcome a lot of them too.
Mm.
So in that
Mm.
situation, I feel like we had a lot to learn from each other. Like, I come from a more privileged background, so I can help him with a lot of things that um, I know how to deal with because of my background. But on the other hand, like seeing him work really hard for the things that he wants despite his different background and him not letting that get in his way, I find that very inspiring and humbling. And it makes me work or makes me want to work a lot harder in the things that I do. So that's like one example of I don't think it's always cut and dry. And I actually think that when people from very different backgrounds come together in a relationship, I actually think that you have a lot to teach each other because you have such very
Mm.
different perspectives in life.
Nice. Very well said. Doug, you're probably not watching, but there you go. I got to give you both a round of applause for that one. Thank you for sharing, Janice. Very
Of
much
course.
appreciated. There you go. You've continued to
That's
make a fan out of me right there.
I was gonna
You're so
mention
eloquent in the way you phrase
All right.
everything.
Kemp, I think Kemp has something to say. Go ahead.
It's that
I was
4 year
gonna make a joke about
degree.
how I was gonna ask Janice if you would say that you and Doug would say you complete each other, but I didn't think you'd take that very well.
TK, why are you typing the chat?
Oh my god.
Preach, sister.
Oh my god. Stop.
Well played. Well played, TK. Woo! All right.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta give props in both sections because I want to keep the cheering section going too.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
there you go. There you go. All right. So right now on my clock, it already says 9:56. So I think we've been going on this podcast for quite a bit already. So,
Your clock is 5 minutes behind.
huh? My clock is it probably is honestly. What time is it?
It's already 10:01 for me.
Oh, my laptop. Whatever. Sorry, guys. So it's been a long
Video.
podcast. Thank you for everyone in the chat. You all have been very participative today. Um, I'd like to thank our guests, Janice, Kemp, and TK, for. Whew, sorry, had to get a burp out there. Sorry. For joining us this week. I appreciate all your input. I think it's been very insightful with not only myself, but definitely some people in the chat watching. So, with that said, do you guys have any final words or final pieces of advice for anyone watching? Or if you want to talk about it, do you have any Valentine's Day plans or ideas coming up? If you want to share.
I actually don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
Doug, I know you're
I'm
still not
so
watching,
bad.
but you gotta get on that, bro.
Oh man.
Gotta plan that
I don't
together.
know. It's our 2-year anniversary too. Rip.
Dang.
I don't know. I'll come up with something. Don't worry.
Cat
I think,
saying in the chat, "F my life, I missed everything."
Aw.
It's okay. You can watch it on
That's
my
why it's
YouTube
recorded.
channel.
It's recorded, yeah.
It's recorded. All right, for
We
sure.
got you.
Yeah, Kemp, you wanted to say your piece?
I think my boy Naron wants to go to Hooters on Valentine's Day.
So, all right. So Kemp is saying Hooters has a promotion if you're single. I think you get a free basket of wings if you order one beforehand or something, right? I don't
Wait, are you serious?
Is this only on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's only on Valentine's Day.
That's so funny.
So there you go.
I think
Yeah, you
let's
everyone.
go to Hooters, guys.
Oh my god.
Hey, if you're down, I would be down, but I have another podcast next week, so unfortunately, maybe in the afternoon, who knows?
Maybe
But
you should host it at Hooters.
Oh,
honestly,
dang.
all right, honestly, Kemp sent me that, and I went, dude, should we do a podcast at? I thought of that in my head. I didn't tell him that. I was like, do I want to do the podcast? But then I can't record it. I can't
true.
record it, and yeah, so we'll think about it.
It'll be a very nice vlog.
Yeah, so if you are single, check out Hooters. They do have a promotion, I think. I don't know if it was a troll, but I think they've done it every year. So check them out. Sponsor me.
Should not be sponsored by Hooters, by the way.
Sherry's in the chat saying, "Ooh, happy early anniversary to you two." And lol,
Thank you.
sounds like Janice is interested in the wings.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, could you guys just get me a to-go box?
Nah, just go in there and say you're single.
Yeah, I'll just Doug and I can go in separately.
Actually, I want to sit at the table with. I want to sit at the table with that guy.
We'll just go in separately and get our free wings and bounce.
Nice. All right, TK, any last words or advice or plans for next week? Anything?
I have no plans on Valentine's Day or Single Awareness Day, whatever you want to call it. But live and love and live.
Ooh, ooh. Hit him with the quotes, baby. Hit him. There you
The 1-2,
go.
right? The 1-2.
Oh my
There we
God.
go. There we go. All right. So, anyone else have anything else to say before I close this out?
Thanks for having us, Neron.
Yeah, it's good times.
So fun.
Yeah, this
Alright.
is your chance to subscribe to the Church of Janice. I'll hold sign-ups right after this podcast.
Oh my God, stop.
Oh my god, that's gonna be the new segment on my channel, the Church of Janice.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be like 3 to 5 minute segment videos. Alright, Janice, we're talking about this week.
Oh my God.
Alright.
This is how you get people to follow a false cult.
Take my money.
There you go, man.
Oh my gosh. Alright. Once again, I'd like to thank you three for coming on the podcast. Once again, thank you for everyone watching on the live stream. And for people like Kat who potentially missed out on this podcast, this video will be posted on my YouTube channel. Check me out. I_am_neon gaming on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe per usual. Smash that like button, you know. You have to be super aggressive like Janice's lip smacking.
What are you talking about? You're so rude.
I thought you said
I
those
don't
weren't
do that.
aggressive enough.
They weren't aggressive enough.
How could you say that about our Lord and Savior?
Hey, you guys are haters. I hate you all.
Alright, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and peace out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you guys next week for part 3. I haven't had the topics and the guests set in stone yet, so the promo will probably be late per usual. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we are out.
Bye.
Bye.